In this video, we will be calling an image picker view controller in order to select and pick the image view and the picture. Okay, so we're coming back to our Xcode. In order to call a UI image picker view, we must here implement two more libraries, which will be UI navigation controller delegate, and the second one will be UI image picker controller delegate. That's the one. So we need UI navigation controller delegate in order to be navigated to the image picker controller. Image picker controller, this is additional another controller which will come from the bottom to the top. Then we can select the photo album and select some of the picture. Okay, so the step one is to integrate these two libraries. Okay, the step 2 is to declare a function which will be responsible for calling the picker view. Okay, here right after the action sheet I will call, or if you want right after you did load, I will call here I will declare here one function which is show picker, and open curly brackets, and here we'll write let picker be equal to UI image picker controller picker dot delegate equals self. So by writing the code, we're accessing all the protocols of this library. Picker dot allows editing. Yes, let it allow it. Picker dot source type is equals to UI image picker controller source type dot camera, or let's say photo library. And let's present it. Present picker animated true with the no completion handler. Okay, very good. So I will show you how does it work. This function takes us to the picker controller. Picker controller is the controller that allows us to select picture. Okay, very good. So let's call now show picker. In this one, let's say cover image tab, show picker. I'll build and run the app. We click cover. Okay, which is already presenting. So I will comment this show action. I'll comment it and I will launch it. So when we select cover, you see that it takes us to another. This is a picker controller. So when we click cover, it takes us to the picker controller. Here we have different albums and we can select something and the editing is allowed, and we're clicking choose. So at the next step will be, once we selected something, we want this to be appearing in the cover. Okay, so we're going to the next step. There is one already existing protocol in this library. We implemented this library in order to access the following protocol, which is image picker controller did finish picking media info. This one is executed once the picture is selected in picker controller. Very good. Here we will write our logic. Let image equals to info. In the square brackets we write UI image picker controller edited image, then coming out from the square brackets as UI image, just UI image. Okay, very good. And once we have picked this image, we want to assign it to our cover. Let's go to our main storyboard and make outlet connection for the cover and for the AVA. I select left mouse click and here make sure that it's automatic on the controller, and I left control and left mouse click here. I write cover image view its outlet connection, and the same we're doing for the AVA. Select your AVA, hold Ctrl left mouse click, drag, release it here, AVA image view. Very good. So these are our user interface objects. And you know, view did load, it's a first loading function. Excellent. Let's come back to our home view controller. And here we want in the cover image view dot image to show the image which we have retrieved. So let me explain you the code. So here we're created the constant with the name image that will access. It will first go to full info which we have received when we select the picture, when we select it. When it comes back, it sends to the home view controller a lot of information like size of the pictures, like width, height, etc. Then we are accessing, we're going to the all info. The info stores the full picture itself. Then we are accessing picker controller edited image, so the one which we have edited, and we're casting it as a UI image. UI image means image. Image view means the frame that stores image. So then what we're doing, we're going to cover image view or to the frame that can store some cover. We're going to the image and assigning the image which we are accessing. Access image selected from picker controller. Okay, very good. Well, let's now test it. Tap your cover. We're going and let's select that one. I click choose. And in my case, it doesn't react. I don't know why. Yes, definitely. Guys, very important moment. When we have selected the image, it assigned the image, then we need to dismiss this view controller. So here we write self dot, or without self, you can write just dismiss animated true with the. Actually, we do want a completion handler. So we want, and we will write here selected and assigned. Okay, for example, we select the cover, we select the image, we click choose, it dismissed, and we have the cover image. And here selected and assigned. Excellent. But here is the one thing which what we want to do is, what if we want to call, let's say, camera, but here we're mentioning the source photo library. What do you think, guys? Do we need to create a separate function where the source will be camera? No, we don't need to do this. We'll just edit our show picker function, and here we will write it with source, and here we'll write UI image picker controller source type. And here instead of photo library, we write source. So we have created a function with the name showPicker, which has a description with, it has no effect. Then it has a reference variable, which is source of type UI image picker controller source type. And we assign the source to be the source type, which the source we can further declare as we wish. Okay, here we can write showPicker with, let's say, library. Photo library. Excellent. So it will have the same effect. So I need to tell you that in the simulator, the photo camera, it doesn't work. You can test a photo camera only on a real device. Okay, guys. So as I know, my goal here in the what I have told you now is just to show you how it works actually. So we will now go into deep programming. Okay. First of all, the difficult task for us is to distinguish. What I want is, let's say if the AVA or the profile picture is selected, I want this button to be disabled. So it won't be enabled, it will be disabled. And another one is I want to distinguish these two. So let's say if I want to select for AVA, it will again assign it for the cover image view, because in the method is image picker controller did finish picking with media info. Here we're assigning to the cover image view. Okay, so first of all, I'll create some coding objects. to build a logic. First, the first one will be Boolean. Is cover shown or not? If, let's say, is cover shown, or means there is some cover, or let's say we will just write is cover. If there is a cover, we want the delete button to be enabled. If there is no cover, we want it to be disabled. So is cover initially, let's put false. And here as well, we are writing here is Ava equals false initially. And another one will be, we need to pass what exactly has been tapped, image view or the cover. Is image view tapped equals to just empty string. Okay, excellent. So what we will be doing now, so this was the first coding objects to build logic of distinguishing tapped or shown cover or Ava. This is the main meaning. Okay, so what we want to do is, first of all, we want to go to action sheet, and we want to work with the action sheet. Let's say if we select the cover image, we want here to show the cover image, and that we want to pass the info is cover has been shown or not. Okay, very good. So we're coming back to our action sheet function. That's the one, and here for the here we'll write, when we click camera, we want to show picker with the source type camera. Here we need to write self. When we click library, we want to write here let library show picker dot photo library. Very good. And one more, I'd like to show you one professional method of doing this is to use an if statement. If UI image picker controller, that one is source type dot camera available, then only show this. So this means if camera available on device, then show. Okay, so let's say if the camera doesn't work on certain devices, so then it won't crash. So this is one of the most professional way of coding with the checks. So then for the library, we will do the same. If UI image picker controller dot is source type available, which is a photo library, then show library. So this is check which we're doing to check. We're checking here availability of photo library, so our app won't crash. Okay, very good. If it is not available, then it will just not execute it. Okay, very good. So we are going now to delete button, which is a little bit complicated logic for us. Okay, so how we want to work with the delete button. First, we want to check it has been selected the cover or the profile picture, because if profile picture is already if there is any profile picture, then we want to show the delete button. And first of all, we need to distinguish the tabs, what exactly has been tapped. Okay, very good. And here in delete, instead of deleted, we'll remove that, and we will write here the first check if self.imageView tapped equals, let's say, cover, then we want to execute this. Okay, before we proceed further, I will now come back to cover image view tapped, and here I'll write image view tapped equals cover, So we are like using something like a trigger. And here we're writing again, image view tapped equals Ava, in case if the Ava image view has been tapped. Okay, here now we can uncomment this show action sheet. Okay, I'm coming back to our action sheet, and yeah, we're continuing. If image view Ava has been tapped, then we wanna remove or delete the image. So how we can delete that, we wanna again show this placeholder. So we write self dot ava image view dot image will be equals to UI image, open the round bracket, select here the method with the name and string. The name we want to make it equals to user.png. So it means whenever we'll click delete ava image view, it will show us this placeholder instead of just a blank image view. Okay, excellent. So once it's deleted, we want to cast, is there any ava? We want to cast it as false. Is ava equals false. Excellent. So we are deleting profile picture, which is ava, by returning placeholder. And we want to do the same for the cover, else if self.imageViewTabbed equals to, here must be ava, not cover, make sure that here must be, it must be an ava, guys. So then we write else if image view tabbed equals cover, then open the curly brackets, we're writing self dot cover image view dot image will be equals to UI image, open the round bracket, select the method with the string name, and here we will make it equals to home cover dot jpeg, home cover dot jpeg. Very good, and we want to cast it as it has not been selected or shown. Self is there any cover equals false. Very good. So this is what we are doing. This is how we can delete it. Here, just make sure that it's single equal mark. We are switching trigger, and we're doing the same here, switching trigger. Okay, let's say we'll select some image, and we want to delete that. Delete, here we go. Very good. And let's say we select something for the Ava, for the profile picture, it still assigns it for the cover picture. So we want to delete that. And I select Ava, I click delete, and it's not deleting it. Okay, so we want to avoid this, and we will now build a proper and very strong logic for this. Okay, and one more thing is, we were talking about the availability of the delete button. We're coming back to our action sheet, and here after we're declaring the delete button, here we'll write the logic of showing the delete button to the user. And to do that, we'll write if image view equals ava, if image view tabbed equals ava, and is ava equals false, then delete button, delete is enabled equals false. So it means if there is no ava, there is no delete button. If there is no profile picture of the user, there is no delete button. And here we write else if image view tabbed equals cover and is cover equals false, then delete button is enabled false as well. Excellent. Here we are manipulating appearance of delete button for each scenarios. Okay, very good. So let's see how does it work now. Okay, so you see the delete button is not available neither for the cover nor for the Ava picture. Okay, let's now select and see will it be available or not. No, it won't be available because we must cast, once we select some picture, we must cast is there any cover, we must cast as true. Okay, so for that purpose, whenever we select an image view here, instead of the completion handler, here we'll write cover is cover equals true. So I would like to place these codes in the hierarchy. This one I will put after the action sheet is called because it executed as the latest function at the moment once it's selected. Okay, we'll now build and run here. Yeah, we must write self is cover. Okay, I'll now build and run our project. We select a cover image, and now delete button is available for cover, but for the Ava is not available. So we'll delete it. We're returning back our cover. So excellent. But how we can make that so we can distinguish again selecting and assigning the picture for the our different imageries. Okay, to continue with this, we will be going now to the last method, which is UI image picker view, picker controller. Okay, so we need to write here a logic. Instead of assigning the cover, the image which we have access to the cover, we need now to build a logic based on the triggers. So we write here if image view tab equals cover, then we'll want to assign it to the cover image view. Self.cover image view dot image will be equals image, which we have accessed. Else if image view tab equals ava, we want to assign it to the self.ava image view dot image equals image. So excellent. And what we're doing here, based on the trigger, we are assigning selected pictures to the appropriated view, image view. This is what we're doing. Okay, and once, as you remember, once we've selected the image, we need to tell to our project that it has been selected. So here again, we'll write a logic which will be of the same. We can just copy this block and we'll paste it in the dismiss handler. And here, instead of assigning image, we'll just write first is cover equals true, self.cover. And for the another case, we'll write self.ava is ava equals true. Excellent. So that's really good, guys. You don't forget to write self because we 2 times went in the closure. Okay, so here we are handling completion. Here we are working with the completion handler to communicate to the project that images has been selected. So it means enable delete button. Very good. So we can now build and run, and we can see how everything works very well. Photo library, I select for the cover. Very good. And we're doing the same for the library. We're doing the same for the profile picture. Excellent. Very good, guys. So now both of the buttons will be available. Delete or for the cover. We can just test it by clicking delete. Now delete button is disabled. The same we're doing for the profile picture, delete, and now delete button is disabled. Excellent, guys. It was really outstanding and amazing work we have done by building such a complicated logic. So we have done it very successfully. Excellent job. Well done, guys.